No, I do not know all the answers. I don't even know any answers. So that's what I want to talk about today. I think that, I don't know, something clicked in my head where I think that it's coming natural, like within a quiet, silent classroom. I am exercising my boundaries more. I don't know. But anyway, so I put a situation in that just happened, and I thought a little bit deeper about that situation. And so as I'm talking to you, this is the way I was talking to my voice recorder. And then I clicked view transcript and copied the transcript and then put it into the Sing AI app. I put it into the Sing AI. And so it's the same words that I'm saying, but in like 3 different beats, 3 different songs, because it made me laugh. And it's like I'm realizing that through life, just this one situation made me realize this a little bit deeper, is that I don't realize how much people are teaching me, or how much I am learning just living everyday life. You know, just having normal conversations, normal situations, conflicts, for conflict management. And it's the way you take these situations that you're in every day, and how do you think about them and use them. Yes, there are those that get you frustrated. There are those that you say, I'm not tolerating this or that anymore. But I have learned so much from the good, the beautiful situations and conversations. Learned so much from the real bad, nasty, horrible conversations and interactions and dealing with people in general. And it's like I don't never get to the point of hating nobody and coming for revenge. I just try to protect myself and this and that, just try to protect myself and learn from lessons where I make mistakes, or I see where someone has if I want to use that word, hurt me, or just didn't make me feel good, how I learn from all that. It's a trip, and then just getting quiet and think about it, it makes me smile, and just like in this situation, somebody said, Emily, I know Emily knows the answers. I don't know nothing. But I do want to say, you have no idea how much you're teaching me, how much you're inspiring me, how much I am learning, with the good, the bad, and the ugly with everyone. That's how we all, I think. I know that's how I get my answers and learn, is from you. But anyway, I'm going, after I put it into the Sing AI and got a couple beats off of and musical instruments off of my words, then I copied and pasted into AI, and they had something pretty good to interesting to say about it. It's like I guess I'm learning to set boundaries without even knowing it, And another thing I wanted to mention is, like, I have the habit of, the head nod. And the head nod comes, from, walking in the streets or being in the workplace environment. And that's my hello, head nod. And especially, it must come with people that I don't deal with at all, and make sure that I keep my distance from, and they know I know who they are. And so something happened recently, and it was someone I had an interaction with where I had to submit something. I had to submit something all the way up, right? And they walked past me, leaving the other day, and they was like, and the way they did it, because it's not natural for them to do a head nod, it was just so exaggerated. Like, the up and the down was a deep bounce, and so I'm like, so they must notice that about me, and they projecting or reflecting and giving it back to me. But that's just my normal state, and that's just something that they did when they saw me the other day. It was like, I don't know, I felt something behind that, like, I don't know.
This is like a detour because it's something different on the head nod than what I was originally talking about with somebody that's cool and we vibe, together all the time. And so then here is actually what I typed in after I was just talking into Perplexity. I wanted to explain how I normally, for example, I grew up in New York, and I have the head nod when I greet people. I see them on the street walking. It's like I do that in the workplace as well. And I notice when I mainly do that, I don't have any conversations with someone that I've had a conflict with, and that I noticed something. I submitted a conflict way up. I took it way up to the top, to the higher ups on a person, and they found out that I know who they are. And so the other day, I know this is not their personality. And the way they gave their head nod, it was a hard, all the way up, the head lifted all the way up, exaggeratedly hard, and then back down hard, right? Like for me to see them, because normally they, I avoid them, or they avoid me after, and there's been multiple things that has happened because, I try to blah, blah, blah. I don't know how to talk about that. It's like they notice I do that, and then it feels like they were projecting, picking up my behavior as far as, the head nod and giving it back to me. All right. So here's what AI came back and said. Hold on. Man, it's like human behavior is a trip. I think it falls under human behavior. But anyway, here's what it came back. It said, you're picking up on something real. That exaggerated hard head nod after a conflict can be its own kind of nonverbal message. And it can absolutely feel like projection when someone copies your greeting style but loads it with attitude. What the head nod usually means in most cultures, a head nod is basically a sign, a signal of acknowledgement, agreement, or I see you, and it's often used as a low-key greeting in passing. In workplaces, small gestures like nods, eye contact, or lack of them help shape the tone of relationships and can either support trust or add to tension. When the nod feels that was a trip. When the nod feels aggressive or performative, the way a nod is done can change its meaning. A sharp or prolonged head motion, especially with strong eye contact, can come across as dominant, challenging, or confrontational depending on context. After a conflict, an unusually hard or exaggerated nod from someone who normally avoids you can function like a forced acknowledgement that says, "I know you see me," more than a genuine hello. Projection and why it feels off. Projection is when a person attributes their own thoughts, feelings, or motives to someone else instead of owning them eternally. So, if they resent you, feel exposed, or feel guilty about what happened, they may act as if you are the one, full of attitude, and then perform that attitude back at you through their body language, which is why it lands as them using your head nod against you. So how you might frame this experience. One way to talk about it in content or journaling is you have a culturally rooted neutral greeting habit. For example, the New York head nod. And in the workplace, you reserve full conversation for people you are actually at peace with. After escalating a conflict appropriately to higher ups, the other person's sudden, hard, deliberate nod reads less like reconciliation and more like a non-verbal performance. Look at me. I'm acknowledging you, mixed with their own discomfort and projection about being seen. Protecting your energy going forward. Let's see what they say. You are allowed to keep your nod neutral and minimal and not match their intensity. I was thinking about just doing this next time. I don't know what I'm going to do. A calm, brief acknowledgement or even no response is a boundary, not aggression. If this ever edges into harassment or clear intimidation, it becomes appropriate to document patterns and, if needed, route it through the same formal channels you already use, since nonverbal behavior can also impact psychological safety at work. So, I'm glad I put this in for a little bit better understanding, right? A little bit, sometimes you know things, but it's good to hear another form, being put into another form. In the way it comes out. So what immediately I was thinking, and I wanted to say, is that when I don't want to deal with you, I don't want to deal with you. It's not because of people notice how you deal with other people and they pay attention. I mean, it's all human behavior, right? But then it's your own behavior if it bothers you for what reason. And so my thing is, when I don't want to deal with people, it's not because of color. It's not because of race. It's not because you were raised by a clan and you continue those type of behaviors and don't want to change them, and they're just blatantly seen in the way you take care of people in the workplace. It's not because you may walk like me different, you may dress like me different, you may handle situations differently than I do. Those are not reasons that I don't want to be bothered with you. Reasons I don't want to be bothered with people is when it's affecting me internally, because I deal with conflict, and I've dealt with conflict for many, many years, and it has helped me process and become successful at other problems and solutions to solve on a case-by-case basis, right? That's all I'm going to say on that right now. But let me get back to, I'm going to do three, I'm going to put three videos, three songs here that I put with, at the end of the video. There'll be three songs that I'm going to put on my other channel where I put only music, based off of the fun stuff, is when they said that I was ignoring them and I don't want to give them an answer and I don't have answers. But I'm glad I did touch on the head nod thing, because it gives me more perspective about how to go forth, and that make me feel like I'm not crazy. I noticed something, you know. But anyway, this real quick. This became like two topics, but the original reason why I started this conversation when I was talking to somebody that, I vibe with, and we talk back and forth a lot, cool person. But it said, what you're describing is a kind of quiet classroom, like where everyday interactions at work and families become a lesson in self-awareness, boundaries, and reading other people's patterns. Getting still afterward is what lets the teaching land, so you can see, oh, this is how I responded, this is how they moved, and this is what I want to do differently going forward. This often happens in my head and, with dialogue. So what happens with the gift advice? The number one reason why I started this, before I went off the track on the head nod, is that in that Christmas gift situation, you actually did three things at once. You remembered last year's pattern. They asked you, you offered ideas. They pushed back on everything. The second one is you chose not to re-enroll in the same loop and redirected them to other co-workers. The third one is you held your boundary without being rude, even when they kept insisting. But I want Emily to tell me. So that quiet, no, I'm not doing this again. Why? Okay, so that quiet no, I'm not doing this again, is a form of emotional self-protection and also a signal to them. If you want access to my brain, you have to handle it respectfully. Everyday interactions as teachers, psychology and sociology both point out that most human learning is social. We pick up what to do and what not to do by watching, feeling, and interacting with people around us. Workplace and families become training grounds where personalities, habits, and unspoken rules are constantly teaching us how to communicate, protect our energy, and choose our responses. When you slow down and replay interactions, you're practicing self-reflection, which research links to stronger self-awareness, better decisions, and healthier relationships. That's why those quiet moments later feel so rich. You're not just relieving something, you're decoding. What your quiet reflection is showing, the way you described it, your mind goes back over behaviors, who minimizes, who respects, who drains, and who reciprocates. Your own responses, where you overgive, where you shut down, where you stand firm. Lessons for going forth in life, the kind of interactions you want to repeat and the ones you're done rehearsing. Relationship experts describe this as using relationships as a mirror. Other people's reactions reflect your strengths, like clear boundaries and problem solving, and also show you where you might want to adjust how much access you give. Boundaries are quiet leadership, saying, we went through this last year. I'm not doing that again. It's a boundary, but it's also a subtle leadership move. It shows you remember patterns, you respect your own time, and you're not going to keep playing a role that leaves you resentful. Over time, those consistent responses actually teach your environment too. People learn what they can and cannot get from you, and that pushes them either to grow up in how they approach you or to take that behavior someone else. I just had a thought when people say, you teach people how to treat you, but they don't give you examples. And this was a very, very good example of, teaching people how to treat you. But anyway, I'm going to end there, and this is how I'm just sharing how I do. I'm going to call it my homework, when I have things on my mind. Imagine me going to a psychiatrist, say, I got something to talk to you about. Wait, I got another thing to talk to you about. Oh, I got something else to talk to you about. That's not realistic for me. So I do, in addition to, if I go see a psychiatrist, a mental health provider, or things of that nature, I constantly work on myself and do my own homework as well. And hopefully this can help somebody think the way they want to think about themselves. All right, peace.
So I was talking to someone at work and it hit me today. It's like a lot of times you get quiet. I can speak to me, I get quiet and things come to my mind and I'll think about things that has happened, and somebody yesterday was like they wanted advice or something to buy their spouse for Christmas, right? And I said, and then it was like, Emily, let me know what should I get? And I said, last time we went through this last year already. I'm not going through that again this year with you. Everything I've recommended for you, you had something to say about it, the type of conversations we got into about it was like, I don't know. So I said, no, act such and such and such and such. And so they was giving him advice and he was like, but I want Emily to tell me what she thinks. She will not tell me what she think, and I know she don't the answers, and she's sitting over there into her own stuff with her head down, and she will answer and give me any advice. And so I was thinking about that, and it made me chuckle a little bit today, because I was like, I don't know. I guess what I'm trying to say is that we don't realize, I have not realized a lot of times until I get quiet and realize it, that a lot of life and situations happen in the workplace, in the family's structure situation. It's the interactions is actually teaching something, whether it's teaching how to continue to live, whether it's just teaching how to go about the way you do things in life, how you want to do them, how you don't want to do them. And it just gives you, so when you look deeper into it, it gives you a better, for me, it has a reflection on personalities, behaviors, and going forth in life and figuring out different situations and how to interact with people in general from the interactions that you have as a root on a routine basis with people.